What's going on, guys?
Welcome back to another video.
We finally ended up getting, first of all, getting these results was a headache itself, okay? Now, we literally had to go physically pick this up because they were supposed to send it to our email or whatever. They never sent anything to the email. And then on top of that, they got the wrong email. Super annoying, but we finally got Janiece's MRI results. As you guys know, we've been waiting on this because this is to tell if she has a brain tumor, which is a horrible way to put it, but basically a growth in, I can never say this right. How do you say it? What?
It's a pituitary tumor.
No, how do you say it though?
Pituitary.
Pituitary.
Bro, if I sit here and teach him
Pituitary.
how to say it, we're gonna be
it?
here for like 20 years.
Is that it though?
Babe, does it matter?
I want to learn how to say it.
Pituitary. Great, good job.
That was it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is basically to determine if she had a gland growth or whatever, all right? Basically, if she has a brain tumor or not. And we finally got the results.
Yeah, should I just read it?
We'll read the results and then we'll tell you what it means because there's a lot of big words in there.
Okay, so basically it said, what the indication was hyperprolactinemia, which is what I was supposed to be diagnosed with. And it said...
Well, explain to them what that is, for those that don't know. The hyperprolactinemia. What does that mean?
So that means pretty much a high level of prolactin. It can result in having a brain tumor in the pituitary gland if you have high prolactin.
If you can say that word, it's a flex. If you can actually say that.
Yeah, and then it also can lead to like infertility because that means you don't ovulate. So until you get those levels down, pretty much you won't be able to get pregnant.
Doesn't that like mean like it tells your body that you're already pregnant in a way?
Yeah, so pretty much if you have high prolactin, your body, like sometimes people lactate, which is crazy.
That's actually wild.
Yeah, and basically it's your body already going through pregnancy symptoms because your body is pretty much like in pregnancy mode, but you're not pregnant. And it like throws off your hormones. When they told me that I had or could have hyperprolactinemia, I found out because I did a blood test first and they told me that I have high levels of prolactin. Right?
Which was false. Mm-hmm. That was wrong.
Yeah, so pretty much before the wedding, they were like, oh, you might have a brain tumor, you have hyperprolactin. And I'm like, okay.
The reason or the way we found out that that was false was because we took her results, her like scale number or whatever, and we compared it on different scales. And out of like 5 different scales or whatever, she was normal on like what, 3 out of 5?
Yeah, so like the hormone doctor that I went to, she made it seem like this was like horrible, like
her prolactin was super high, and it was literally high by like what, 1.5 points?
Yeah, so also like in the original paper that I had, it had 2 numbers. It had like 200 and something 0.7, and then it had 22.
Yeah, but those were like the computer codes. That I knew about because I worked in the medical field before, so that I knew.
Yeah, I didn't know they were computer codes. So when I was talking to a friend and that was going through a similar situation, and they were kind of telling me their levels, and I was just like, okay, so if this is my level, I don't know if it's this number or this number, but they were just like, oh, that's kind of weird because your levels don't seem that high. So then we talked to his mom, and his mom has experience in the medical field, and she has a friend that reads just like...
She's basically a doctor.
She's a doctor. So she told me that my levels are fine, that everything looks fine. So I'm like, why is this doctor telling me this? And then I got a second opinion from his mom. Everyone's telling me it's fine. So just to be sure, I went, I got these results. It took us literally forever. They said it was gonna be 3 to 5 days. It's literally almost going on 3 weeks now.
No, 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks. They don't count weekends.
Oh, okay, so yeah, 2 weeks. So yeah, I called them, got the results. I'm gonna read this to you. So the technique is basically they did an MRI with and without contrast. The findings, it said no restricted diffusions, no Chiari malformation, midline structure intact, no acute intracranial mass effects or midline shift, no intra or extra-axial hemorrhage, no hydrocephalus.
I feel like the medical field, they make it hard to read.
Hydrocephalus? That sounds like syphilis.
They make it hard. They make it hard to read. I swear they do.
Like what? This makes me feel like I'm in school, like giving a speech.
This makes me feel stupid.
Getting anxiety. It says flow voids preserved in the major interactile arterial structures and draining dural venous sinuses, paranasal sinuses clear, mastoid air cells clear, which makes me happy because that means my nose is better.
Yeah, we took care of that one.
Yeah. And it says, following the administration of contrast, no abnormal intra or extra axial enhancements. There is developmental venous anomaly in the right frontal region. That's the findings.
They make it sound so crazy, bro. Like,
I don't know what half of this means.
once we found out like what all this means, I can summarize this in just the most simple way possible. They make it difficult on purpose. I think they do.
I know, and it sounds so much more scary.
It does, because they use all these big words that I can't even pronounce, like pituitary.
Bye. So everything that I gathered from that was no, 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 no. So no means good. This is what we've been waiting for 6 months now to know, or 7, because I found out like a few weeks before our wedding.
Yeah, so this basically is talking about the actual tumor itself, if there is one or not.
So it says normal pituitary bright spot, dorsum sellae intact, no pituitary apoplexy or hemorrhage, no pituitary cysts, normal pituitary stalk, optic chiasm is normal, bilateral cavernous sinus intact, bilateral cavernous ICA normal. Following the administration of contrast, no hypoenhancing or hyper-enhancing pituitary mass, no pituitary lesion, no acute intracranial finding, no abnormal intracranial enhancements, and then incidental right developmental venous anomaly.
I mean, overall, it just means that she's completely normal, guys. There's nothing wrong in her head. Thank God.
So pretty much all of that extra to say I have no pituitary tumor, everything is completely normal. And I kind of figured this out on my own because I was just sitting here like, okay, I'm taking ovulation kits. I am ovulating. I don't know if I had something and the medicine I was taking like took it away. Or I never had anything to begin with and it just wasn't even that big of a deal.
You had nothing to begin with.
And they like messed up like my MRI result, my blood test results.
This is why it's good to get second opinions on diagnoses like this, because when someone tells you got a brain tumor, go get a freaking second opinion, because that is such a crazy thing to tell somebody and then it not be true. You know what I mean? Like, that's horrible.
I'm honestly kind of pissed at this place because it's just like
never going back there.
Yeah, I feel like healthcare out here in Florida is literally the worst.
The medical field, I feel like in general, you know, I'm not gonna speak too much on it. I'm not gonna say anything because then they're gonna come and get me.
I feel like I was taken care of a lot better in Jersey. I feel like Jersey and New York, the healthcare is like unmatched.
The healthcare up north is way better, I will say.
Way better.
This is good. This is positive.
Yeah.
So this is a great finding. She has no brain tumor, thank God. My wife is normal.
For the most part.
So yeah, I mean, for the most part, you know, she's okay up here, but she chooses not to be, you know, by choice.
Shut up. You don't even make sense. She chooses not to be by choice. Shut up.
So yeah, overall, this is a positive thing. Now you guys are probably wondering, all right, how does this go into like the fertility thing? What does that mean? 3 things. There could be 3 issues when it comes to her getting pregnant. The first issue is we're being impatient. Now, a lot of you guys are saying that you got yourselves, you know, we got to be patient and just continue to try, not stress, don't think about it, just go with the flow. And that could probably be it, you know what I mean? Or there's 2 other options. Her endometriosis, which is a factor because that does, you know, hinder pregnancy. Or it could be me. You know, a lot of people don't think it could be the guy. Maybe my swimmers aren't strong. We don't know, you know what I mean? We don't know. It could be me. I could be the problem this whole time. So, I think we didn't really speak on it too much, but are we pretty much just like what, gonna go with the flow for like a solid year?
Okay, so honestly, like I just personally wanted to knock these things out so that I can like rule out all the possible
possibilities that could be wrong.
Right. This is the first step. This is like done and over with. Like I don't have any like pituitary tumors, whatever, but like
everything just goes back now to her endo.
Right.
We got to see what's going on with that.
That's
but
the
this
next
isn't
step.
Nothing new. That's the good thing. 4 years ago, she got cysts removed and they cleaned everything up inside and all that. So this is basically going to be a repeat thing, but they're going to be testing her tubes while they're in there. We're going to see. All I know is that it's a huge plus that there's nothing wrong with your head. Mm-hmm. Everything else I said, like, we've been through the endo. We know what it entails, so I'm not too worried about that. I feel like something in your head is like way more serious. Overall, this is a very good thing. And we're just gonna continue the journey of seeing what's gonna happen with this pregnancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm really at the point where I'm just like not forcing anything. It is what it is. And that's pretty much.
I feel like that was the last of you like worrying.
Yeah.
Like forcing things, trying to figure shit out. Like, you know what I mean? It's like we got that out of the way, cool. Now it's like back to that. And then if they say everything's good with that after you get cleaned up and you still don't get pregnant, yo, I'm gonna have to go get tested then.
Yeah, that would be the last step.
At that point, because it's like, yo, if you get cleaned up and they remove cysts and all that and you're good down there, even though you still have endo, but you're clean down there and you still don't get pregnant, your boy has to go get checked for his swimmers because I could be the problem. You know?
Yeah, I've been telling him I want to go to a fertility specialist, but he's like, doesn't think it's necessary.
Let's just wait a year, try, get your stuff handled and all that before we take the extreme route. Overall, what else do you want to say?
That's it.
I'm super happy with those results. But all that being said, guys, we hope y'all enjoyed today's video.
I just wanted to share the results because I know you guys have been asking for it. And I'm happy this is done and over with and I never have to think about it again.
Yeah, we didn't keep you guys waiting. We literally got it today and we started filming this video for you guys to get it out ASAP. But all that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video. We hope y'all enjoyed it and yeah, see y'all on the next one.